Nobody noticed the cleaner standing at the back of the courtroom. She was just a shadow in a blue uniform, mop in one hand, dignity in the other. But what they didn't know was that she held the power to ruin everything. Not with a scream, not with a fight, but with a dusty old file the lawyer thought he destroyed 10 years ago. Cameron Blake was the kind of man who made a name by stepping on the necks of people who couldn't fight back. Fast-talking, cunning, cold. He didn't defend the guilty, he buried the truth for them. Today, he was defending a wealthy landlord accused of illegal evictions. 4 working-class families. No fancy suits. No lawyers with million-dollar teeth. Just fear and truth. The judge barely looked up when he called the case. But Blake was already smirking. And then, he saw her. The cleaner in the corner. He said it loud, for everyone to hear. If this case goes south, maybe the cleaner can offer the plaintiffs a job. She's probably better at sweeping trash than I am. Laughter, echoing in the chamber. But she didn't flinch. She just squeezed the mop handle. Because she remembered that voice. 10 years ago, she was in that same courtroom. Not as a cleaner, but as a tenant. Angela Morris. A mother. A fighter. She led a protest against unsafe housing. Mold. Lead. Collapsing stairs. And Blake. He was the one who destroyed her case. Twisted her words. Mocked her tears. Made her look crazy. Got her evicted. That eviction cost her everything. Her home. Her job. Her child's safety. She cleaned office floors to survive. But there was one thing she never let go of. The folder from her case. The one the court never saw. The one with Cameron Blake's signature. His private notes. His instructions to delay repairs until eviction. She kept it. All these years. Tucked inside a shoebox. Buried under bills. And today, she opened it. Because he lied again. In front of a judge. Said there were no prior complaints. Said no history of tenant mistreatment. Angela stepped out of the courtroom. Not to cry. Not to run. But to make a call. When she came back, she wasn't holding a mop. She was holding that folder. And she handed it to the plaintiff's lawyer. What happened next? You could hear a pin drop. Your Honor, the attorney said. We've just received new evidence. From a credible eyewitness. Evidence that contradicts Mr. Blake's sworn testimony. The judge raised an eyebrow. Who submitted it? The lawyer turned. Pointed to the cleaner. Angela Morris. Blake's smirk cracked. He went pale. Because he knew what was in that folder. The judge flipped through the pages. There it was. Blake's own handwriting. Delay repairs until evictions complete. Risk level. Manageable. The courtroom shifted. Blake stammered. Tried to object. But the judge waved him off. Recess. Immediate. Outside, the whispers began. 3 prior cases reopened. A bar complaint filed. Reporters digging through Blake's past like vultures. Angela didn't gloat. Didn't cry. She just picked up her mop again. Because justice doesn't always arrive in a parade. Sometimes, it arrives in uniform. She thought it was over. But it wasn't. That night, someone knocked on her door. A man. Wearing a grey hoodie. Eyes darting. Nervous. He handed her a flash drive. And whispered, "You don't know the half of it. Blake didn't just ruin tenants. He buried a man named Elijah Cross. Framed him. There's video proof." Before she could ask questions, he was gone. Angela locked the door. Plugged the flash drive into her old laptop. 1 folder. 1 file. A video. A trembling voice. "I did time for something he did. Blake said if I talked, I'd disappear too." Then, static. Angela froze. Because this wasn't just about evictions anymore. This was about blood. And Blake's lies? They were just beginning to unravel. Angela hadn't slept. That flash drive haunted her like a second heartbeat. Each click brought her deeper into the darkness Blake spent years covering up. She wasn't a lawyer, not a cop, just a cleaner with a mop. And now, a secret powerful enough to shatter lives. The video played again. A man's face, barely lit, eyes tired, voice raw. My name's Elijah Cross. I'm innocent. But I took the fall because I was told. If I didn't, my daughter wouldn't make it to her 5th birthday. The name hit her like a punch. It was in Blake's old case notes. Buried deep. Forgotten. No media coverage. No appeals. Just gone. She dug deeper. Found a case number. An arrest record. And then, nothing. No trial transcript. No witness list. It was like the system swallowed Elijah whole. She reached out to a reporter she once cleaned offices for. Tosha Reynolds. Sharp. Relentless. Angela sent her the flash drive. And waited. 2 days later, Tosha called. Shaken. Elijah Cross didn't just vanish. His case was sealed. Under federal protection. That doesn't happen unless someone powerful ordered it. Angela asked one question. Who was the judge? Silence. Then, Ronald Whitmore. And guess who his lead prosecutor was? Angela didn't need the answer. She already knew. Cameron Blake. He had buried tenants. Framed the poor. Now, he'd buried a man. Angela printed everything. The emails. The notes. The still frames from the video. She walked into the district attorney's office unannounced. They tried to stop her. She didn't care. I have evidence of a wrongful conviction, she said. And I want to testify. The assistant DA, barely older than her son, tried to wave her off. Until he saw the name. Elijah Cross. Suddenly, everything stopped. 3 hours of questioning. 1 USB drive. And a warning as she left. Don't go home tonight. She didn't listen. That evening, a black car sat across the street. Tinted windows. No plates. Watching. At 2:13 a.m., someone tried her door. She crouched in the dark, phone in hand. No sound. Just fear. The next morning, Tosha left a voicemail. I think someone broke into my apartment. My files are gone. But the backup's still safe. Meet me at the public library at noon. Angela arrived early. Waited. Tosha never showed. Instead, the man in the grey hoodie appeared again. But this time, he looked rattled. He slid a folded note across the table. Blake knows. He's running scared. But that makes him more dangerous. Angela opened it. 1 line. A prison ID number. And 3 words. Find Elijah Cross. She looked up. The man was gone. And for the first time, Angela wondered, was Elijah still alive? Or had Blake already made sure? He wasn't. She found the prison ID. Now they're coming for her. To be continued in part 2.